Welcome to Eating with Dagmar. So once in a while, I just might make a really short video of a simple recipe where I actually give you the ingredients. Um, Certain things, like whenever I make cottage cheese or yogurt, those vary because the milk varies. But when it comes to things like mustard, mayonnaise, or pickles, which is what I'm going to do today, 3-day pickles, refrigerated pickles. This is the fastest and the most pleasant way I know of making pickles, using only truly the most excellent raw apple cider vinegar there is, organic. Um, and because whenever you buy normal pickles, they've been boiled and heated, and they've got the horrible bad vinegar in them, and they're no longer alive. None of the enzymes are intact. They're just taste good. But this way we get the good taste, and we also get the beneficial alkalinizing properties of eating vegetables that are soaked in raw apple cider vinegar and water. So, in this formula, it's very simple. In 3 days, you can have pickles. You can take a English cucumber. This was the last one that I had made, and you just cut the English cucumber. The same formula I'm going to give you. You can use an English cucumber and cut it into pieces, or it's amazing that it comes out so crispy. mm, it's just a great little snack. Or you can put it on, like what I did with when I made my breadless bologna sandwich, where I took my Amish bologna, put some cheese on it, and some pickles and mustard. It was great. So, or you can use these kind of pickles, which come from my friend's garden. So these are pickling cucumbers. Um, so I'm going to make one that's going to use the pickling cucumbers, but you can also cut these if you want, if you prefer that. It's just an aesthetic, and it's also a question of what will fit in your jar. So the basic formula is, first we put in 1.5 cups of water. I'm going to put in the water that I went, it's not the water that this label is. I went to this spot in Black Mountain that has, in North Carolina, Black Mountain, North Carolina, where you can get, there's a guy who owns a piece of land, and he's got a gushing spring on it, and he has allowed whoever wants to stop by and collect spring water. So that's where I got this water. It is living water as opposed to dead water. So I'm putting 1.5 cups of this water into a jar. This is like a quart jar. So this is a 1/2 cup measuring. So I'm putting 3 1/2 cups, which will make 1.5 cups. And then we add 3 tablespoons of raw apple cider vinegar. This amazing, brilliant stuff, which seriously, if you're at all a prepper, which I am, even though I call myself a celebratory prepper, not a doomsday prepper, I prepare because it's fun, because it reminds me of how my ancestors were, how my grandmother was. Always had stuff under her bed, food. And you know, it's kind of a nice feeling of security. So that's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. And now we put in some salt. And where's my measuring spoon for salt? I love this wooden spoon. And always, always do not use Himalayan salt. We've already talked about that many times, for many reasons, besides it being toxic and too high in iron, which is not very good for men because men don't menstruate. I'm sorry. Call me a right wing extremist, but men don't menstruate, so you can't get rid of the extra iron, and postmenopausal women don't either. So, and you can just get like a major iron toxicity from it. So for that reason, I always use um, only like the most unrefined, cleanest sea salt. You could do Celtic sea salt, but you could even do better than that and get fleur de sel. Um, it's just this salt is so, it's like it's still damp. You know, it has that feeling like when you put your hand in it, you get that feeling like after you've come out of the ocean, you know, it's slightly kind of oily, but it's so loaded in magnesium. And this is just like a great, this is so, talk about prepping. Raw apple cider vinegar, salt, and raw honey, three of the most potent foods you could have in your celebration preparation pantry. So now I'm going to put the tablespoon into this, and I will then also put, this is one of the keys, you take a bay leaf. I don't, because I am very frugal and I recognize the potency of bay leaves, I don't put the whole leaf, I just put half or a third of a bay leaf in there. And also, if I don't eat garlic straight, but I love putting garlic in the pickles because it just kind of infuses the juice of it, you know, with this kind of subtle garlicky. So I just take maybe two small garlics and I cut them into slices so as to release their aromas into this. Here we go. Okay. And then you can take, if you happen to have, like, let's say, a red onion or a scallion or dill. I never tried basil, but you can put that in there too. So I'm just gonna, and you don't eat these things, you just let them fill this with flavor, right? This is how my grandmother taught me to cut. I know you're never supposed to bring the knife towards yourself, but every time we cut bread, oh, there's water coming out of this. In the old country, we always cut it towards ourselves. So I guess you kind of have to know your knife. You're also not supposed to lick sharp knives, and I do all the time. So now we have all the ingredients in here, and I just give it a good shake. Shake the coconut. Put the lime in the coconut, and then drink it all up. I don't know if you're old enough to remember that commercial. You might appreciate my aside. Okay, so now I just wanted the salt to melt, so it is. And now I will take, and I will just cut off the end of, just the tiniest end of each pickle. I mean, each cucumber, which will then become a pickle. And in 3 days, you put this in the refrigerator, and in 3 days, you got yourself truly out of this world delicious pickles. So this is always a real art form, how to squeeze as many pickles as possible in here. Let's see, can I do it? Okay, I know I can do one more. I have to do, well, do I want to do one more? Do I want to push it? Can I? Will it fit? My grandmother used to say, it's not going to translate or sound as good as it sounds in Czech, but she would say, many good people fit in small bed. Is it true for many good pickles fit in small jar? And the reason we would say that is because in the old country, we didn't have, come on, pickle. we didn't have heating, so in the winter the bed was placed over the wood stove, which was kind of bigger than the stoves here. So, and then when the stove was turned off, we would all squeeze into one bed so that we would be warm all night. So many good people fit into small bed. But many good pickles not wanting to fit. Sometimes it's a matter of rearranging them. And if that doesn't... Oh. Come on, pickle. Why won't you go? Oh, maybe I'll try the other end. No, not the other end. That won't work. Okay, so how far will it go? It'll go this far. So what I'm gonna do, because I am determined to not waste anything, I am going to cut it and stick this one in there. And then, what should I do with this one? I guess I could eat it, or I could just cut it into little slices and stick it in there. So they'll be... It's delicious either way. So you really can't go wrong with this. This will make a fine addendum to any meal. Okay, so now we got everything that needs to be in there, all ready to go. They look so happy, like a dysfunctional family that doesn't have any boundaries. But you know, it's dysfunctional families sometimes that have the most amazing values and that truly understand what it is to help one another. So this country maybe was built on dysfunctional families, and it's not all bad. Just being human, we do the best that we can, and sometimes we mess up, but that's how we learn. That's how we grow. Okay, enough philosophizing. So, pickles in 3 days. I'm just going to put it in the refrigerator. In 3 days, these will be ready, and they'll be really delicious. So, thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day or evening. This is Dagmar signing off. Bye.